Well, welcome back to season 2 of Gals in the Pit Wall. Am I recording? Yeah, I am. Oh yeah. We got a new set and other things. Yeah, I'm Catherine. Let's just start by addressing the elephant in the room. Lewis Hamilton Ferrari. Can't believe it. Not coping. My boy Carlos. I can't deal. I don't know where he's gonna go. I predicted last season that he was going to go to Red Bull. I think that's still an option. But then everyone's saying Mercedes. I really don't want him to go there because that car looks shit. Sauber maybe. They looked alright in testing, but testing is only testing. So we shall see. I might giggle a little bit because I've got a camera operator today, who's also our first ever guest on the podcast, Alice!
Oh God,
woo! Yeah! We just need to listen out for the camera stopping. Woo!
Toad scream.
Oh God, that hurt.
Yeah, your audio's gonna go.
So, for this introductory episode
Oh God.
to season 2 of the podcast of Gals in the Pit Wall, we're gonna do some pre-season predictions.
Okay.
For context, if you don't know who Alice is my flatmate. Alice doesn't watch F1.
No.
All she knows is what I tell her, and that's just sort of general gossip about the drivers. She knows who all the drivers are,
I do.
but
Their skills?
no.
No.
So
Account.
Alice doesn't know the categories that I've come up with for predictions. So I'm going to give you my predictions based off somewhat knowledge, and you're going to go off of vibes. And then at the end of the season, we can come back and see who got more correct. If you beat me, I swear to God. And I think on the Instagram, Jazz will have also added her predictions, so we can cross compare at some point. So, can't go on. You can't see my things.
No.
We're going to start with biggest good surprise of the season.
Biggest good surprise.
Yes, a surprise of the season that is good. So, like last season, Daniel Ricciardo returning. You could say that was a good surprise.
Yes.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go with mine first?
I want to see where you lead it. Yes.
Okay, right. We can take it in turns.
Yeah, lovely.
So I wrote these before pre-season testing, by the way. Just to clarify, I have had these written on my phone a while. Because one of them was out of date. I said, I might have predicted that Alex Albon was going to go to Ferrari. And I might have been really wrong. So I had to rewrite them. Biggest good surprise. I have Sauber have a competitive car.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I'm on the money as well. Like, not to jinx it, but I might be right.
Oh my God.
I'm calling them Sauber. I don't know what we're meant to call them. I don't know if it's steak. I don't know if it's kick. So I'm going to call them Sauber as to not be confused. But you know who I mean.
Yeah.
The green one.
The green one.
The currently green one.
Yeah. They need to sort of figure that out because that's not...
I quite like it. Everyone chat on it. But if you compare that to Alpine, which is black with a stripe.
Yeah.
They promised us pink camouflage. Did we get pink camouflage? No. They teased it days before. Pictures of the pink camouflage. They just lied.
They're filthy little liars.
And there's like from the car launch. That was one of the only car launches I watched, the live stream. And it cut to a bit and you've got Jack Doohan, who's the reserve driver, Pierre and Esteban sat in the front row. And the picture's out there. And if I make a clip of this, I'll find it and add it in. I've never seen people look more depressed. And apparently everything is wrong with the car, allegedly. So it makes sense, but God, that's karma. You promised pink camo. You don't deliver. You have a shit car.
That's the rules, sorry.
That's the rules. I don't make them up. Just saying.
Just saying. How wide can I get?
Anything.
Okay.
Anything you want.
Oh, wonderful. I think that... Right, I'm locking this in down.
Okay.
That Gunter will come back, not as like a principal, but to sing a national anthem at one of the races.
Well, I have some news for you. As of today, Gunther is going to be presenting on German television, I believe, at the races. So he's making his return, so you could be right.
Listen, if that man begins to sing, I think that'll be...
What would he sing? The German national anthem? I don't know the German national anthem.
Neither do I, but I also think he could probably bust out some Katy Perry and it'd be kind of fun.
Oh yes, the national anthem of Katy Perry.
Listen.
California Girls.
California Girls!
Bring that out at COTA.
Yeah, they're going to come in with a race.
Him and Snoop Dogg.
and Will.i.am to
my
conduct,
God.
obviously. And then they bring in the was he a German Elton John?
Belgian Elton John.
Belgian Elton John.
That was my highlight last season.
Yeah,
Honestly,
that, but Gunther.
I think they could Vegas. Oh my God, that could actually they wheel him out in Vegas with Will.i.am. Will.i.am made Miami like he was the best part of it. The driver, the stupid intro, and Will on that platform who made like he might not have been conducting, but he looked professional.
Yeah, he was enjoying himself, and that's the main thing.
He strikes me not to diagnose anyone, and I might have to cut this out. But as an autistic person, he strikes me as a little bit neurodiverse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just kind of hoping it is because he's really cool. So.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say, or I honestly thought you were going to come out with like biggest good surprise. George also shaves his head. Like I thought it was going to be something like that.
No, he shaves his head and grows a beard, so it kind of goes like a reverse moment.
Next category, next prediction.
Okay.
Biggest bad surprise.
One of the drivers goes bald. It's a wig. Carlton's hair's a wig.
No!
It's a wig!
Fuck.
It is! During one of the races, just...
One day he takes the helmet off. It's
you like Lego hair, and if you put a helmet on Lego hair, it just comes with it. I bet that's what it
one
is.
particularly sweaty race. It's just going to go...
And then maybe they swap hairs about. That's what I bet it is. Nothing else.
He's always afraid.
There's a secret bald in that group. And I'm staring by it.
Toto Wolf.
He must dye this is so off topic.
Yeah.
But he must dye his hair.
It's pretty majestic. I like to think he doesn't, but he definitely does.
Maybe
Susie sits and does it.
And they have a wee gossip session.
With the foils.
Yeah,
the curls.
We're lovely.
Nah, he must do. His hair's too luscious to not.
Or vice versa, Fred comes in but with a really bad toupee.
It's just sort of stuck in the middle but doesn't connect with the rest of
Hi
it.
guys, you've been to Turkey, Fred, have you? Turkey. That's nice.
So mine. So your official prediction:
Is-
someone's hair is not their hair.
Someone's hair's gonna get snatched off. They're gonna go that fast. People are gonna hate me.
Yeah, Alice is never invited back in the podcast.
No.
All the comments are like no.
No, she's mean.
My biggest bad surprise was that RB, as in not Red Bull, as in Visa Cash App, RB, V Carb. On the testing broadcast, they were calling them RB. That's what they went for. But
The
in
Royal
my
Bank.
Head, Royal Bank. In my head, RB is just
Red Bull.
yeah, and the logo is obviously Red Bull, so I'm very confused. I'm also confused. Like I know everyone talks about this and debates this, but how is this allowed? Because they're just a bit too close. And it also has pinched the front wing, I think. I mean, I don't think it's pinched anything more off the RB19 than anyone else has, so I'll not comment on that. But I think my biggest bad surprise is that they do really well.
Oh.
And it's only bad because it's a confusing name and I hate it. But also, it's just another type of Red Bull dominance.
Yeah.
And I wrote this before testing, and Daniel Ricciardo, and I know testing is just testing, and it only matters if your driver's first. But Daniel Ricciardo was up in the P4 in what was last season a shitbox.
Not a shit box anymore.
So I think I might be right.
So is it more for out of the inconvenience to say such a shit name?
Yeah, because it's very confusing, and I have to think about it every time I say it. When we thought Stake F1 team was bad. Although to be fair, so they're in like a legal thing at the moment because Stake is a online gambling company, but Sauber, who Stake is a title sponsor of, is based in Switzerland. Online gambling isn't allowed there. Ooh. And I think you have to pay a big bit of tax to the government. So it's kind of like a debate at the moment. So it still says Stake, but their sponsor is Kick. Very confusing. And we thought that was going to be confusing, but no, RB fucking bothers me. And it is just another way for Red Bull to like win.
Wiggle their way in.
Yeah. Can they just fucking sit down? Sit down. Pink, get doon.
Pink, get doon.
Pink, RB, get doon.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it. Okay, my next prediction. Who retires? Because obviously this year, the silly season, I mean, we fucking started it in February. It's all gone tits up now that Lewis has gone to Ferrari. So there's going to be people who are out of contract. It's going to happen because there's so much young talent coming up. I mean, even think about like Liam Lawson and stuff. So people are going to be out. People are going to be out of contract. Okay. So this is not ends up without a seat because that's the next one. Okay. This is who retires.
Who's just like...
Who decides they're done.
I've hit...
And like, I'm not saying retire from racing. I just mean from F1. Because some people, you might go somewhere else and do another type of racing.
I don't want to say it. Because I don't want it to be true.
Because we might have the same one. Valtteri
Yeah,
Bottas.
but I don't want him to go.
I said it last season, but I was kind of basing it off of the Alfa Romeo being really slow.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, he must be miserable driving that piece of shit. But if the Cyber's quite quick, I don't know if he'll necessarily want to go.
Yeah, he'd be like, oh.
But I also don't know if they'll necessarily renew his contract either. So
But I love him.
I think that they would be smart to keep him, depending on who they... Because, like, so if Carlos goes to Cyber, they would be better, I think, bringing in a young driver.
Yes.
Like Theo Pucher, who's their reserve. But if Carlos doesn't go there, and they want to bring in a young driver, I think they'd be better having Valtteri there than they would be having Zhou.
Yeah.
I just feel like Zhou's not been given a good enough car to, like, show how good he is, and that's such a shame.
I do feel bad for him, bless. Because he gets
his home race this year, though. China.
That's
back on the
nice.
calendar, so that's exciting for him.
That's nice.
But yeah, I do think Valtteri Bottas.
Little Valtteri.
I think if Carlos goes to Cyber, I think Valtteri will go.
If Valtteri does retire, I think he will live a lovely little life as a little cyclist.
Yeah, with his girlfriend, it'll be wonderful.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I would at least worry about him if he retired. I think he's got lots of things. He owns a coffee shop, I'm pretty sure, as well.
He looks like he would, yeah. Artisanal.
Artisanal shit art and mustaches.
Shit art. He's like 2014, he's got like mustache art on walls and stuff.
God, we are coming back into that trend cycle.
No, let's just wait.
Okay, so the next category is who ends up without a seat? Juicy.
Juicy. Oh. I think Checo.
Okay.
Because he doesn't deserve one. Yeah, I think, listen, he just irks, I can't describe it other than he just irks me.
Okay.
But obviously his driving's not been awful.
But
also, they don't want to keep him, do they?
I don't know. They're definitely getting rid of him. We know that Daniel's lap times when he drove the RB19 were quicker than Checo.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm not saying Checo's a bad driver, and this is no Checo slander. But he is in the quickest car on the grid, and he's underperforming.
Yes.
He's started off the season so well, and this is where Jazz would talk about her Red Bull Conspiracy Club. Oh my God, the first one of the new season, Red Bull Conspiracy Club, that they deliberately tanked him.
This
After the
thing.
first couple races, and like they might have. We'll never know.
I just don't see anyone clamoring for Checo personally. I don't see a team like, who we fucking need.
Well, I've got a point on this actually. In the next category, I'll bring Checo back up.
He's coming around.
But my prediction, I am very sure that one of the Alpinuses is going to go. Because they're both kind of on the same. I'd say they're both on a similar level. They're not very good. No, they're not. I can't say they're not good.
Yeah.
They just had a
bad time.
A bad time.
Bad time.
And I think that they're both out of contract this season, I think. So I think one of them is going to go, and I think it's going to be Esteban.
Esty bestie.
And I'm only going to base it off of, like, because I don't think there's actually that much that separates them personally.
No.
And you might listen to this and go, she's fucking wrong. But the amount of penalties, I mean, he's
not a great time.
Yeah. And so if I was in charge,
you'd be gone.
But it pains me because I actually love Esteban, and I think the problem is this season there's going to be people who go that we really like, and I think it's going to be a very emotional time for us all. I know. But maybe he'll have a great season in the shit Alpine.
Maybe, what if Max just went, you know what? Guys?
I'm
done because I'm just better than all of you.
So I'm going to drive the Alpine now.
What if he's just like, you know what, we'll give someone, here's a wee charity moment, and he just gets someone else in.
I would love Max to become a team principal one day. I think it would be so fun.
Oh my God.
Haas team principal, Max Verstappen.
What do you think he'd be like as a principal?
I think he'd be really fucking good.
But I mean, like, would he be mean?
No.
Like, he could be effective, but would he be like, oh, good job? Would he like,
no. I think he would just be like, I'm not going to say his name, CH.
Oh, yeah.
Disgraced CH, allegedly. We don't talk about him.
No, we don't.
We don't bring him up in this podcast. He doesn't exist.
Yeah.
The team principal of Red Bull is, in fact, Jerry from the Spice Girls.
Of course it is.
She's the team principal. Mm-hmm. Takes the Merc seat. That's the next one. And this is where I bring back in Checo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, hear me out.
Okay,
so there was a picture of Checo speaking to Toto, and I know it means nothing. But I was thinking about this after that picture.
Mm-hmm.
and I put some thought into this. The Merc is obviously not going to be very good, right? It's fair. It looked okay in testing when Lewis drove it. When George drove it, not so much. But you also have to think, okay, Lewis is jumping ship. That means Lewis knows things.
Yeah.
And he obviously knows that the car isn't going to be very good. And then it'll be completely different because regulations change after the season.
Mm-hmm.
But he obviously knows
Something's
that they're not improving.
Good.
So I think other people are going to think about that. I mean, Carlos might take that seat. I did write a whole article on this. And like, you know, there's a whole number of people that could take that seat. It's a good seat. You probably get paid well.
It's not bad.
But I think they could take Checo. Because, like I said earlier, he's not a shit driver.
No.
And he's obviously got a lot of talent. And he's quite a mature driver. I think they obviously want George to become their first driver at some point. And George, I think, wants to stick it out there. George is definitely not ready. George has won one race. So they need someone. I think it would be no use. Everyone's like, oh, Kimi Antonelli, who is in F2.
Mm-hmm.
This is his first season in F2. He's basically won everything he's ever done.
Oh.
And I see the vision of bringing him in as your next Lewis Hamilton. But it doesn't make sense to have him in with George.
No.
I don't think he'd learn anything there. So I think you need to have someone like Checo.
Oh, yes, I see what you're saying.
But I also bring a second person to the mix of this. Daniel Ricciardo. Who I didn't put in my article. But on that same wave of thought. I don't think he wants to leave the Red Bull family. And I think he'll probably end up staying at RB. Or going to Red Bull. But I think Carlos is going to end up in the Red Bull family too. So I guess it's a bit of a musical chairs.
Shuffle, yes.
But yeah, I think Daniel Ricciardo would be good in the Merc, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then I suppose it could be another potential shit time at another team for him. I think he probably wants to stay within Red Bull, which is fair enough.
Danielle.
He's not having a good time.
It's not.
Who do you think will take the Merc seat? Based off of vibes.
Vibes alone. See, now, this is vibes based. I just think, you know, who would look good in that outfit? Because,
valid.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think Checo.
No, I think he can make it work. Him and George.
So I think Toto and his sons.
Yeah, I mean, it already looks like Toto and his wee sons.
Yeah, it does look like his sons.
His favourite son.
And
the weird one, the
lost all the
accident.
nutrition from the womb. Yeah.
The one that swallowed the twin.
Oh my god, yeah, he did. That's why he's a good driver. He's got 4 sets of eyes.
He's got 4 arms. 2 little ones that pop out. He's driving and pressing buttons at the same time.
Yeah, he is. He's that good. He's still crashed into walls, so he's that good. Yeah, Daniel would be interesting. Again, I was like, I can't picture him sat in that. I also can't picture him ever interacting with George Russell. I don't think must.
Yeah, Joe, I reckon Lewis is so happy to get there.
He's like, God, he keeps staring at me.
He's like, God, at least Charles is slightly cooler. Fuck.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another. I think dynamically that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, actually, let's make a point of that. I see the plan. I see the vision.
Yes.
Fred has been on a bit of a mission. Okay, he's been kidnapping. No, he's been taking. He's been taking personnel from other teams like Red Bull and Merc and bringing them over. And obviously, he's also brought Lewis in. And yeah, so I think the plan is obviously that Lewis, our 7-time world champion, 8-time world champion, he will come over and he will teach Charles some things, and that's obviously the plan. Charles, you sit back and you learn from Lewis, because Charles got the talent, but he's not got the consistency, and he's not as polished as Max is. Like, Max is perfect. Yes. Like literally perfect. He makes so few mistakes, where Charles is like really good, but a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, bless him.
So I get the idea is to learn from Lewis. Do I think that Charles Leclerc, Ferrari's golden boy, is going to happily sit behind Lewis and go and let him win the races?
Yeah, no.
So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to that next season. Other than Carlos obviously going. Sad times.
Yeah, I don't know who's going to take that seat. Carlos?
Is that who you put out there?
Yeah, I'm shoving Carlos because I think. Oh, him and George. Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he would make George seem cooler. Maybe
he would
bring the vibes.
Level him up just a little bit.
I just don't want to see Carlos in that car. It's gonna be really slow. I'd rather see him in the Sauber.
No, I know what you mean. You want him to be somewhere.
Because at least in the Sauber, he's likely to be battling midfield if their car is quite good, especially when Audi eventually takes it over. Because Audi have had some success, obviously, with Carlos's dad, Carlos Sainz Sr. in the Dakar Rally. That man's in his 60s and he won the Dakar Rally. Very impressive. Yeah. Yeah, I would think I'd rather see him in that fighting in the midfield than I would see him struggling. In the Merc.
Yeah.
Like, if Lewis doesn't want to drive it,
Yeah.
put Jago there.
Show him. Yeah.
Okay, right. Biggest flop.
Oh, so many.
Us.
Us.
This podcast.
No. It's gonna flop after when people say that I'm on it, but like apart from that, like it's gonna go. Whoa!
Or people prefer you to me, and I'm axed off.
Biggest flop. Ooh. God, I mean,
You gonna say George Russell?
no, because he's not been a flop. Well, maybe in driving terms, in social media terms,
In vibes.
in vibes, that him serving Vogue 9 to 5 basically.
Yeah, his.
Like, I'm sorry, Diana. Sorry.
Yeah, he is Diana reincarnated.
I do heavily believe that is Princess Diana. He is
Odd.
yeah,
Strange.
strange, but he's not a flop.
Joe, I do feel the day that I might beat George Russell, and this comes back to haunt me.
He's like, why would you say that about me?
Justin George, it's out of love.
It's out of love.
I've said this in the podcast before. I only take the piss because I actually really love
Yeah.
him. I think he's so
But, like,
funny.
No, he's actually. I think he's had a glow up. The
Yeah.
hair,
Yeah, thank you, Carmen.
I mean, it's
Doing the Lord's work for us all, really.
she really is flopping. Oh, listen, this might be controversial. Valtteri's new hair. I just
The bleach.
the bleach because it's giving bald.
But that's not a prediction because that's already happened.
Oh sure. Oh yes. I have to remember it's a prediction. Who's gonna really flop? I just really hope that Max is a bad time.
You've not predicted a flop. You just called Valerie a flop. You predicted your nice hair.
Nice
Flop.
hair, flopping.
Flop.
No. Let's hope Max has a bit of a flop. Not in like his personal. Just forgive someone else a go. Listen, you must be bored.
I don't think he's gonna flop, unfortunately.
I'm predicting it.
Okay.
If there's one race where that's me.
So I would like to claim that I wrote this obviously before testing
Yeah.
anything happened. I wrote his biggest flop, Haas and Alpine. I wrote this before Gunther even was gone.
So that was the biggest
So
flop.
I'm one correct.
Yes.
Because Gunther's gone and that is the biggest flop. But yeah, I predicted that Alpine was gonna be. I think I wrote that after I saw the livery and I was just really salty about it. I was like, no. And I was correct.
Yeah,
The Oracle.
it is.
Okay, this is a fun one.
Oh.
Who do you think, if anyone, will get their first win?
Oh. I would. Oh.
Because remember, something could go tits up and someone rogue could really
I
win.
think it'd be really amazing for wee Lando to just fucking finally get up there.
I like that you don't even watch racing, but you're on this the side of the world where we're
because
just like
it's just like at this point, just help him. Please help
someone
him.
to just pull over and let him
Yeah, because it's
through.
like, right, come on through, indicate out. Like, someone let him.
Max, if you could just tow him behind you, little
basically,
string.
you know when like your dad or whoever it is that teaches you to ride a bike and they let it go. We don't need to sort of let go and let him go.
You're right at the finish line. If you could just pull over.
Yeah, and then have like wee Oscar just behind. That'd be lovely.
I also have Lando. I also put. So this is my prediction of people who get their first win. I do think that Oscar might get a win before Lando.
No, because I think this as well. I genuinely
like
think
I know
this.
Lando had more P2s last season, but I just have this horrible sinking feeling, as is a theme with all of Lando's teammates, that they're gonna get a win.
Tell you what, if
first.
you want a win, go join McLaren while he's still actual guaranteed one.
That's a good shout, actually. Yeah, if you just want to manifest yourself a win, just go to McLaren.
Yeah.
I think Oscar will get. I mean, technically he did win the sprint.
Well, yeah.
But I think he'll win. I just want Lando to win anything.
Oh my god, give him anything. Just a bit of participation.
He has about 10 driver of the days from last season or something.
I know, but he needs the win.
But I think Oscar is going to come in with a Grand Prix win. And I also wrote down Zhou Guanyu.
Oh, that'd be really nice.
I'm just
for
kind of
him.
manifesting that he wins in China, not gonna lie.
I sort of imagine that all the cars kind of crash into one another and he's sort of right up through.
I don't know if you can tell, but I just really want that Cyber to be a rocket ship, just for fun.
Yeah, because like, what a fucking twist.
Because it was bad last season. I just really want them to come through and just fly through that midfield.
We're basically just wanting a win. We just want a win
We
for
just
them.
want anyone else to win.
Yeah.
That's not Red Bull.
Yeah, it's...
I do think... Actually, no, we'll get to that at the end. I was going to talk about this upcoming race of Bahrain. But we'll get to that at the end. Okay. World Drivers' Championship. Top 3. at the end of the season.
Top 3.
Yeah, so from world champion, P2, P3.
Right.
So last year it was Max, it was Checo, and then it was Lewis. Without a win as well, Lewis got P3.
He's just so cool. They just give it to him.
Yeah, they're just like,
it's like, there you go, Lewis.
he's just so good.
He doesn't even need to drive the car. There's a go to him.
Yeah.
There you go, Lewis. Enjoy. Right. It's going to be Max at the top.
Yeah.
Right. This is now, it's not, it's just, right, it's just happening, okay? It's just happening.
Yeah, we'll accept defeat, that's fine.
Now the vibes come in. George Russell number 2?
No! Stop!
Maybe it's his time.
Yeah, he just needed the confidence boost that Lewis is leaving, and now he's like,
Right,
right!
it's my time to shine.
Yeah, maybe they've built the car around him now. Physically, he just sat
Yeah,
there.
he sit
And
there.
he's assembled it
And then
over
he
months.
goes, "Stay there, George."
He lives in the factory.
He's got a wee blanket. He's a wee hat.
Oh my god, is Lewis going to start thanking the people at the Ferrari factory now? Stop.
Because who is it? Like, what? I like to believe it's any factory.
Yeah, to me it goes, thanks everyone back at the factory.
And you talk about Walker's Crisps. Like, I just think that'd be so funny.
Yeah, to me, I don't think he's ever specified what.
Which factory?
We're just assuming it's the Mercedes
Yeah.
one. It could be anything.
He could have been factoring the, the...
Maybe it's Ferrari this
I
whole
was going to say,
time.
he could have been factoring them ages ago. Just saying.
Thank you, Ferrari.
Yeah, I think...
Love.
Right. Okay, Josh, it'd be really funny. No.
Even off vibes, you're like, no.
No, it's not for you, darling. I'm sorry. Right, Max. Oh. Fernando.
Okay, yeah, that'd be pretty good. I'd like to see Fernando there.
And then I'm like, oh, we shall. That'd be so lovely,
Yeah.
but I
You know
also
he'd
think...
hate that
Yeah,
as well.
I think...
He'd be a miserable fuck
Yeah.
about it. You've never seen a guy so miserable to be on the podium. Oh my god. If he gets another P3, he might off himself at this point. He's not coping. Honestly, Joe, he looked back towards the end of the season because it was over.
Exactly, he knew
But-
his torment was ending.
For most of it, anytime he's on the podium, he's just like miserable,
Really miserable.
relatable
No.
king.
Oof. I mean, we all kind of felt like Charlotte at one point, haven't we?
Mm.
Then third, it'll probably be like, I mean, Lewis will be up there, but just for the vibes alone, let's get Bot up there. Let's put Bot up there.
That Sauber is going to be real quick.
Yeah, he's gonna be scooting.
They've surpassed the midfield in our predictions now.
Bye. He's just gonna zoom. I
Okay.
see it in him. I think if he is gonna go, well, it says he's gonna die.
If he's going to go.
He's gonna do it something he's loving, do it with something he loves.
I mean, yours is not far off from what I've got.
Oh my god, Bot right at the top.
You've come out with quite sensible predictions for someone who doesn't really know. I'd say you've gone quite sensible. So my P1, I've put Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
I'm not Matt Gallagher. I'm not going to come out here and say Lando's going to win the World Championship. Because Lando's yet to win a race.
No.
So
Keep
if he
him
won the World
humble.
Championship, I'd be mind blown.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be realistic and say it's going to be Max.
Yeah.
Then P2. This is kind of pure hopes and dreams. But also, I still think it's realistic, to be honest. I've put Carlos Sainz.
I thought you might put Carlos because he also needs someone to tell him he is loved.
It could be wishful thinking, but I also do think that
I see it.
Ferrari will be Red Bull's main competitor this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think everyone in pre-season testing would be sandbagging, but I think it looked a lot closer. I mean, we'll see this weekend, but
Yeah. Say all that then.
we'll see this weekend. But I do think Carlos Sainz and his level head and his good tactics, I'd like to see him up there.
Yeah.
Go with grace. Now get on that podium and then go.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And P3, I've got Lewis Hamilton. Yeah. It would be quite funny if Carlos finished above Lewis.
That would kind of slay.
It would be kind of flu.
Mm-hmm.
I know Charles is my favourite driver, but I am actually now rooting for Carlos this season.
No, because I think Carlos has been hard done by.
And then Constructors, podium. That's the teams.
Yeah.
Just in case.
As in Bob the Builder, as in Constructors, people at the factory.
Yeah, people at the factory. Where do you think they're going to go?
God.
So last year it was Red Bull, Mercedes, Ferrari. But Ferrari and Mercedes were really close. I mean, it went down to the last race and then
Yeah.
Ferrari cocked it up. So, classic.
Classic. Well, yeah, Red Bull's also going to be at top.
Yeah.
Because their car's fast.
Because Adrian Newey.
I think... The green stake.
The green stake, yeah.
The green stake people, purely off vibes for going such, like, you've really done quite a big change.
It's like Ben 10. What's the thing from Kim Possible?
Yeah, that, her.
Ben 10, Asda worker.
Yes. They all deserve a win.
Yeah, sure.
And I think just because it's so, they've just really gone, we're going to do different.
Balls to the wall. What's funny is it's literally for what, like 2 years, and then it's gonna be Audi.
Yeah, they really said, you know what?
Just have fun.
Why not?
I know. I actually kind of was tempted to buy some of the merch
Just to have it. What a fun
because
time.
do you not want a black and luminous green bucket hat in your life?
I know. I need to reevaluate.
I've got Williams glasses. I'm gonna give you the Williams glasses.
Oh, well, we are kind of wearing green.
Oh my god, we've manifested it.
So. If that
Stop.
happens, just saying, and then
Just you can come back to this and go, fuck, they were really smart.
Let's have a Raven moment. Just
That's not who I've got down though. Oh wait, who's your third?
Why is it I can't think of any other teams that exist? Ferrari.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I thought you were just gonna go Fernando.
No, yeah.
On his own once again.
Yeah, he just makes his own week car. He just goes round. Lovely.
He would. Team principal Fernando, I so see that happening.
Oh yeah.
So I've got Red Bull, I'll say, top. I've gone Ferrari.
Oh,
Because wishful thinking. No, I think that's realistic. I think I could be right.
Yeah.
P3, I've got McLaren. That's just me being hopeful. But I think they're in with a good shot.
The tractor has slowly...
Bahrain's not a good track for them, though, so I don't think this weekend will be representative of the rest of the season. I mean, they pulled it back miraculously in the second, part of last season. Yeah, there was a graph that F1 did, and it shows, how their points went in comparison to Mercedes in the first half, and obviously Mercedes was right up here. In the second half of the season, McLaren literally went, so I think we might have to wait a couple of races, potentially, to see some magic from them, hopefully. So even if there's a shit weekend this weekend, I'm gonna hold out hope.
Yeah.
Road prediction, go. Quick.
When that Max Verstappen is gonna do a whole race with no shoes on,
Okay.
bare grippers on
Fair
the
enough.
plates.
He's gonna drive with his toes.
Yeah, toes and the nails.
Mine is slightly less rogue than that. I was
Oh.
just gonna say that Charles and Carlos are gonna collide with each other during a race.
Romantically.
Yeah.
In their arms.
I thought you were not in their arms. Fuck. That's not what this podcast is.
I imagine them they bump cars and they sort of fly across the screen and they hold each other.
Oh.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Nothing about bums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bums. Fernando, do you prefer boobs or bums?
Bums.
Well, on that note, the camera's gone off. That was clearly one step too much,
Yeah,
so
too
we're
many
going to
bums.
wrap it up. Thank you for coming back or for joining us on Gals in the Pit Wall, Season 2, Episode 1. We will see you after Bahrain,
Oh my god.
where Ferrari are going to win.
Yes. And Bobbot's going to win.
Yeah, okay,
He's
sure.
going to absolutely fly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, well,
Yeah, okay.
we'll see. Someone keep record of those predictions and we'll come back to them. High five to see you later.
Okay.
We never touch. This is really odd.
What if we just
I know we do, but now that I'm thinking about
it's
it,
we don't think about
now it feels wrong.
think about a touch. What about snaps?
Yeah, John.
Yeah, let's just snaps.
We're not gonna do a high five. We're gonna do snaps.
Snaps.
If this doesn't make any sense to you, then gotta get with it.
Get on our
this
level.
Is the new high five. Ready? Like slam poetry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not annoying in anyone's
Yeah.
ears.
Really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Really enjoy it.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.